Hello students, good morning. Welcome to the class of English Literature. Today I have picked a poem from BA Part First Syllabus, and the name of this poem is She Was a Phantom of Delight, written by very famous romantic poet William Wordsworth. Here in this title the word phantom means a strange thing, or we can say ghost. She Was a Phantom of Delight by William Wordsworth. This poem was written in 1803 and published in 1807. It is said that William Wordsworth wrote this poem for his wife Mary Hutchinson. Later in his life, Wordsworth said about She Was a Phantom of Delight, "It was written from my heart." The poem is a lyrical ballad with an AABBCCDDEE rhyme scheme. She Was a Phantom of Delight has 3 stanzas with 10 lines each, and the meter is iambic tetrameter. The tone of the poem is calm and amorous. She Was a Phantom of Delight doesn't describe a particular setting, as it focuses on hyperbolic description made by the lyrical voice. Furthermore, Wordsworth utilizes alliteration in order to create an oral effect. Oral means कानों संबंधी, and to emphasize the softness of the woman that the lyrical voice depicts. The poem narrates 3 moments in the relationship between the lyrical voice and the woman she refers to in the poem: the moment when they first met, how they got to know each other better, and the occurrences that took place after their marriage. Here, the first stanza is on your screen. She was a phantom of delight. When first she gleamed upon my sight, a lovely apparition sent to be a moment's ornament. Her eyes as stars of twilight fair, like twilights too her dusky hair. But all things else about her drawn from Maytime and the cheerful dawn. A dancing shape, an image gay, to haunt, to startle and waylay. The first stanza describes a woman and how the lyrical voice met her. The poem starts by saying that this woman was a phantom of delight. This sets the tone for the rest of the poem, as the first line characterizes the woman with a beauty of unreal qualities. After this strong statement, the lyrical voice will narrate how she first met her. When first she gleamed upon my sight, this great beauty is emphasized when she is described as a lovely apparition. Apparition means ghost or strange thing. Notice how the unreal qualities appear once again, as she is described as something out of the human world. She is also sent to be a moment's ornament. Furthermore, she is depicted in an ethereal way, as she is compared to stars and the twilight. The lines are: her eyes as stars of twilight fair, like twilight to her dusky hair. Finally, the lyrical voice compares her to the cheerful dawn. Dawn means Suryodaya ka samay, and believes that she has been sent to him or her to haunt, to startle and waylay. Waylay means rasta rokna. Nevertheless, the unreal characteristics of this woman are followed by other very human qualities like cheerful, gay, and dancing. This is the second stanza. I saw her upon nearer view, a spirit, yet a woman too. Her household motions light and free, and steps of virgin liberty. A countenance in which did meet sweet records, promises as sweet, a creature not too bright or good, for human nature's daily food, for transient sorrows, simple wiles, praise, blame, love, kisses, tears, and smiles. The second stanza narrates how the lyrical voice gets to know this woman better. Again, it is clear that the lyrical voice talks about him or her and exposes his or her feelings and experiences. The lines are I saw her upon nearer view. In this second stanza, the woman grows closer to the lyrical voice as he or she gets a nearer view. She is still described as unreal, a spirit, but the lyrical voice is aware of her human qualities too, yet a woman too. The lyrical voice depicts her as a gentle and soft housewife, and the lines are her household motion light and free, and steps of virgin liberty. Now the woman has human qualities. She is creature but not too bright or good. The image of the woman is now portrayed in a more realistic way as she experiments human nature's daily food for transient sorrows, simple wiles, praise, blame, love, kisses, tears, and smiles. As in the previous stanza, the lyrical voice has a reverential tone that, with the regular rhyme and meter, emphasizes the hyperbolic descriptions towards the woman. In these first two stanza, notice how the lyrical voice uses references to nature when he or she wants to explain the woman's unreachable qualities. Now, this is the third and the last stanza. And now I see with eye serene the very pulse of the machine, a being breathing thoughtful breath, a traveler between life and death, the reason firm, the temperate will, endurance, foresight, strength, and skill, a perfect woman, nobly planned, to want, to comfort, and command, and yet a spirit still and bright with something of a angelic light. The final stanza describes how the lyrical voice sees the woman after spending more time with her. The lyrical voice says that he or she can see with eye serene, meaning that he or she feels that now he or she can see her in a more factual way. She is described as a machine, she can work. But she is still alive, a being breathing thoughtful breath, a traveler between life and death. Moreover, she is seen as a perfect woman that is balanced and does everything in the right manner. And the lines are the reason firm, the temperate will, endurance, foresight, strength, and skill. The poem ends by a final enumeration. Enumeration means ganna karna of her duties, abilities, and characteristics. And the line is to want, to comfort, and command, and yet a spirit still and bright with something of angelic light.